So now you're down to negotiating the division of the property and debts in your divorce. This is an important thing, obviously. So what I always do, and I suggest you do, is start with a property spreadsheet. That's just an Excel type spreadsheet file that lists what each item is, the value of it, and then who gets it. And it has a totaling column down at the bottom. So there's a couple of important points about that. You've got to agree on what's out there, community or separate property, which we've talked about a little bit earlier. Most of the time you're going to have community property. There's not very much separate property in this world, but you do need to check and see if there's any of that. So you want to put community property only on that spreadsheet. Then you want to agree on the values. What's the car worth? What's the house worth? What's the pension worth? Those type of things. Usually if there's a dispute about that, you go to some neutral source. You go to the appraisal district to see the value of the house. You go to Kelley Blue Book to see the value of a used car or something along those lines. So get that first before you start fighting about who gets what. Get an agreement on what exists that's community property and what it's worth. Once you've done that, then most of the time, if you ever got to court, a court's going to divide that community property 50-50. The law actually says in a fair and just manner. No one knows exactly what that is, but the courts are going to start with the assumption that it's a 50-50 division of property. Courts do deviate from that for things like, one person makes more money than the other, someone's been a bad spouse. Those kind of things can make it deviate, but generally it doesn't deviate too far. I've seen it be 55-45 or 60-40 on rare occasions, worse than that, but generally it's within that pretty narrow range. And so I don't think either one of you should expect that if you went to court, there's going to be a gigantic division between those two things. It's probably going to be close to 50-50. So also think about the tax consequences of it. Those sometimes can be big issues as well. So that's how you'd start dividing things, and we've got a form for you that's a beginning of a property spreadsheet that you can use to fill out the rest of the way and try to come to an agreement with your spouse.